Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve Codechef problem Phoebe and her fitness class. Before we start looking into this problem details, some examples and the solution in Java for this problem, I want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people in their Java interviews and in their coding interviews. On my channel you will find a lot of helpful videos that can help you in your interview preparation and in your coding interview preparation. You will find over 300 different varieties of solved problems explained with whiteboarding sessions, examples, and Java solutions explained in details that can help you in your interview preparation. Those problems are taken from previously asked coding questions by big tech companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Yahoo, Amazon, Apple, and many other big tech companies, and those constitute very important coding questions varieties such as breadth first search, depth first search, matrix problems, graph problems, binary search tree problems, problems related to dynamic programming, linked list, strings. All these coding questions are covered on the channel. Apart from that, a lot of logical questions are also covered here that are like related to like stack, queues, all those different data structures. So those varieties is covered. So you will get a lot of varieties that can give you a good interview preparation material here. So please subscribe to the channel now. So let's look into the Phobia and her fitness class problem statement first, and then we'll look into some examples and the Java solution for the same. So Phoebe starts her own fitness class. There are n people standing in a row waiting to start their exercise. The ith person is standing at point xi where 1 is less than equal to I is less than equal to n. The length of the hands of each person is fixed as k units. Each person exercises by raising their hands to the side. Now Phoebe wants the exercise to be perfect. Perfect exercise is possible if there is no overlapping of hands between two persons when they raise their hands side by side. An example of perfect exercise is, so now let's go here. So we'll take a look at what is perfect exercise, right? So this is the perfect exercise. Now A is standing here, so if he is raising his hand, both hands, then the length of the hand is k, right? So it will reach this point, right? So the hand will reach until this point, correct? Now, if you look at the person is standing at B, he will also raise the hands for the exercise. His hands length is also K. So on the left, so this hand will come like until this point, right? So as you can see, these are not like overlapping each other, right? So this is a example of perfect exercise, right? Apart from that, if you look at this example now, these two people, they are standing close to each other now. So they, when they will raise their hands, the hands are overlapping. As you can see, this is overlapping, right? So this is an example of imperfect exercise, right? So let's go back. So this is what they are saying. So now if the hands are overlapping, then it's an imperfect exercise as I shown you just now. So if hands of two people are only touching, A plus B is equal to B minus K, then this is not considered overlapping. So that is a perfect exercise, right? That is also example of perfect exercise. If this K, let's say this K is going here until this point and this left person's hand is coming until this point. So both are touching like this at the boundary, right? But they are not overlapping. So this is still considered as a perfect exercise, right? So that's what they are saying. So now you have to output if the given set of positions with hand length k is perfect or imperfect. So let's take a look at what's given to us in the input. So q is number of queries, that's fine. The first line of each query contains the value n and k. So number of people is given, right, and k is given, which is length of the hand, and the queries contains n space separated integer denoting which is the position of ith person. So for each query we have to output if it's perfect in single line, if it's not without overlapping, right? If it's overlapping, then we have to say it's imperfect. So let's take this example. First example is 3 and 1. So 3 people are standing at position 613 and their length of the hand is 1, right? So let's take this example here. So I just wrote this, so this is given to us. So so if you just draw one line, right? For example, if we just draw one line here, let's just draw a line, right? So first person is standing here at number 1, right? Then this person is standing at number 3, let's say here, right? And the other person is standing at number 6, so he is standing here, right? So the length of the hand is given as k is equal to 1, so that's what their length of the hand, right? So let's say if this is one person, now if he like for the exercise, when he stretches the hand, right, the hand will go on both sides. So on the left side it will go 1, so it will reach 0 here, right? And on the right side it will go 1, so it will reach 2, for example, right? So let's just consider this is 2, correct? So now this is another person who is exercising. If he is like putting his hands like side by side, then this hand will go, this point will be until 3 minus 1, which is 3 minus 1 is 2, right? So let's just assume that 2 is here, so both persons hands are like touching but they are not overlapping, right? 3 minus 1, and on this side it is going until 4, right? So this is 4, and there is another person who is standing here, and he, when he puts his hand on the side, then again it will go until 5, right? 1, the length is 1, so 5 and 7, right? So this is what the length is. So as you can see, there is no overlapping here, right? So we have to say it's a perfect exercise, right? So to solve this problem, what we will do is we will just first take this array and we are going to sort this array, right? So we will take the sorted array 1 3 6, right? This sorting is required to solve this problem, right? Because after sorting, what we will do is we will go one by one and we will make sure that like after putting the hands on the sides, they are not kind of overlapping. So we will compare this with the next person, right? So if this person's hand is overlapping with this 1 and 3 is overlapping, as soon as we find any overlapping, we are going to return imperfect, right? Imperfect exercise. So one we will compare 1 and 3, then we will know that both are just touching at 2, right? So no overlapping, correct? So after that we will go to 3, again we will compare to the next person. So again we will know that they are not overlapping, right? This person's hand goes until 4, and 6, this person's hand come until 5, right? So no overlapping, and this is the end of the array. So we did not find any overlapping, so this is perfect exercise, right? Perfect exercise example. So this is how we are going to solve the Phoebe and her fitness class example on Codechef. Now if we want to take example, let's take one example where we are seeing a imperfect exercise, right? So let's just modify this example little bit. So let me just remove all this coloring so we can to use this space again. Okay, so what we will do is we will just remove this 3 and we will just make it 2, right? So we will make it 2. So now the person 1, when he is doing exercise, his hand will go until point 2, right? So let's say this is the point 2, let's say, right? This is point 2. So and when the person is also standing here at point 2, when he is doing exercise, his hand will go until point 1, right? Until point 1. So and this is, let's say, 3, right? So as you can see, this is the overlapping, right? So we will find the overlapping when we are comparing person 1 and 2, right? So in that case we will just return it's a imperfect exercise, it's an imperfect exercise, right? So that's how we will just uh, solve this problem. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Java code for this one. So this is the first example we just saw. N is equal to 3, there are 3 people, and k is equal to 1. So length of the hand is 1. So first thing is we are going to sort the array, right? because sorting is very much important, because then we can go one by one, right? Like after sorting is done, we will go one by one after each element. So flag, we will create one integer flag, it is 1 in the beginning. So now here we are going to iterate through the sorted array, right? And we will check every person's position plus their hand length, right? Array of I plus k, k is the length of the hand. If this one is greater than the next person's left hand, right? So next person is I plus 1 minus k, right? As you can see here. So this one, right? So as you can see, so 2 is the next person, so 2 minus 1, correct? For this person, next person, it will be 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1, correct? And this one is 1 plus 1, right? For this one, it is, for this person, it is 1 plus 1, the right hand for this person, and it goes until 2. So 2 is basically greater than 1, you can see, right? This 2 is greater than this 1, so it means that there is a overlapping, right? So in that case here, right, we are comparing the overlapping. If it's overlapping, we are just going to say it's imperfect. We will just make our flag 0 and we will break out, right? Because once we find one imperfect exercise, then we just want to break out, right? And after that we'll check our flag. If the flag is still 1, it means that there is no imperfection found, right? Then in that case we will just say it's a perfect exercise, right? So as we already saw, this one is a perfect exercise example, so let's go ahead and execute this. So we are getting correct answer, which is perfect exercise, right? Now let's change this 3 to 2. This is the example that we just saw. Sorry, this one we just saw this. So this is an example of imperfect exercise. So let's take a look and let's execute this. So as you can see, it is giving us imperfect, which is the correct answer, right? So we can check with some more examples. So this is, let's say, 1, then 3, and then 10, right? So there are 4 people standing here. So this is, as you can see, this is a example of perfect exercise, because there will not be any overlapping. So we are getting perfect, which is correct. And if we are making like let's say if we make this as a 7, let's say this person is standing at 7, then 7 and 6 will have overlapping, correct? So it should give us imperfect. So it is giving us imperfect, correct? So this is how we can solve Codechef problem, Phoebe and her fitness class. So so basically this is a array sorting problem, right? And then the logic is I just explained how we can after sorting, how we can iterate the sorted array and check if there is any overlapping happens, right, during the exercise. If you are new to my channel, on my channel you will find a playlist called as Codechef. There is another playlist also called as Code Forces. So both these playlists has a lot of examples solved and explained with whiteboarding sessions and Java code. So you can go through those playlists when you are practicing for your coding examples or coding interviews. There is another big playlist on my channel called as Leetcode and Leetcode solutions. Those are the on that playlist you will find over 250 different varieties of solved coding problems, which are taken from previously asked coding interview questions by Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Yahoo, Amazon, Apple, and many other big tech companies. And those are selective problems to cover wide range of varieties that generally appears during the coding questions, such as matrix problems using BFS, DFS, optimization problems, binary search tree problems, dynamic programming coding questions, as well as coding questions related to linked list, trees, strings, optimization using priority queues, logical questions. All these different varieties you will get to see there. So you can practice those examples for your coding interviews. If you are preparing for Java telephonic interviews, there is a playlist called as Java interview on my channel that discusses frequently asked telephonic Java interview questions and how to answer them. Also, apart from that, there are videos related to Java architecture, Java design patterns, as well as string related Java programming questions. So you can also practice those questions. that will give you really good practice for your coding interviews and Java interviews. If you like this video, if you find this video helpful, and if you like the way it's been created with whiteboarding session, examples and Java code, then please give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel. Your subscription to the channel is really important for the channel, because that is the way the channel can reach to more people who need help in solving coding problems. The one of the main goal of the channel is to help people in their coding problems. Some people find it difficult to solve coding problems, so they can also look into these videos and understand how to approach different varieties of coding problems using Java, and how to use Java data structures, Java APIs and libraries to to solve those different varieties of coding problems. So if you like this video, please give it a like. If you have any questions regarding this video, please put your questions below the description section. I am going to give you the link of my GitHub account, where you will find all these Java solutions. There are lots of other problems also, Java solutions you can find there and practice it from there. Also share this video with your friends and colleagues, and thanks for watching the video.